Welcome back to Demolition Worker. Today we face the ultimate challenge, dismantling the massive Airbus A340, a true four-engine nightmare. This giant of the sky once carried hundreds of passengers across oceans, but now it rests silently in our specialized scrapping facility. Look at those four massive engines hanging from its incredibly long wings. They present a unique and dangerous problem for our crew. Because of this specific design, the entire aircraft is a terrifying exercise in weight distribution and delicate balance during the demolition process. If we make a single mistake and cut the wings in the wrong sequence, the massive fuselage will instantly flip over violently. To prevent a catastrophic accident, our team must carefully plan every single cut before the heavy machinery even touches the metal exterior. We utilize specialized hydraulic props to firmly secure the main body of the airplane, ensuring it remains perfectly stable throughout the operation. These powerful hydraulic supports act as temporary landing gear, holding thousands of tons of metal safely while we work carefully around it. The first step involves draining all remaining aviation fuel from the extensive wing tanks to eliminate any risks of a deadly explosion. Once the tanks are completely dry and ventilated, the real destruction can begin with our massive industrial excavators rolling onto the site. The operators of these giant machines are highly trained professionals who understand the complex structural integrity of commercial aviation aircraft very well. They approach the outer edges of the wings first, carefully assessing the tension and weight distribution before making the very first incision. A specialized hydraulic shear attachment on the excavator acts like a giant pair of scissors, effortlessly slicing through thick aerospace-grade aluminum. Sparks fly into the air as the heavy steel blades crush the delicate internal ribs of the wing structure with incredible force. You can hear the loud groans of bending metal as the first large section of the wing finally detaches from the aircraft. Every time a heavy piece falls to the ground, the center of gravity shifts, testing the strength of our hydraulic support pillars. This is why the sequence is so critical. Removing too much weight from one side would cause an immediate and dangerous imbalance. Our crew constantly monitors the pressure gauges on the hydraulic props, ensuring the massive fuselage remains perfectly level during the entire process. Now we move closer to the first outboard engine, a complex piece of machinery that must be handled with extreme care today. The excavator jaws carefully clamp around the engine pylon, finding the exact weak points designed by engineers for maintenance and eventual removal. With a swift and powerful twist, the heavy engine is torn away from the wing, dropping onto the designated safety mat below. We must immediately repeat this exact same process on the opposite side to maintain the delicate structural equilibrium of the dying aircraft. Moving back and forth between the left and right wings is a tedious but absolutely necessary strategy to prevent a sudden rollover. The sheer scale of this Airbus A340 makes every single operation take twice as long as a standard twin-engine passenger jet. As we strip away the outer sections, the inner wing structures reveal a complex network of wires, pipes, and reinforced titanium brackets. These inner sections are much thicker and require the excavator operator to apply maximum hydraulic pressure to successfully break through the frame. It's fascinating to watch how a machine built to withstand extreme aerodynamic forces is slowly dismantled by brute industrial mechanical strength. The second set of engines, located closer to the main fuselage, presents a much greater challenge due to their immense combined weight. Our team carefully positions additional support beams under the belly of the plane before attempting to sever these massive inner power plants. The sound of tearing metal echoes across the scrapyard as the thick mounting bolts finally give way under the immense hydraulic pressure. Now, with all four engines successfully removed, the aircraft looks completely different, resembling a strange metallic whale stranded on the concrete tarmac. But the danger is far from over because the remaining wing stubs still hold a significant amount of weight and structural tension. The excavators move in closer, their operators communicating constantly via radio to ensure their movements are perfectly synchronized during this critical phase. They begin to chew through the thickest part of the wing root, where it connects directly to the central fuselage carry-through box. This area contains the strongest metal on the entire airplane, requiring our sharpest cutting blades and incredible patience from the machine operators. Piece by piece, the mighty wings are reduced to jagged chunks of scrap metal, ready to be sorted and eventually recycled completely. The precision required here is truly remarkable. One wrong move could easily damage the hydraulic props, keeping the entire structure standing upright. As the last major section of the wing falls away, the balance of the fuselage stabilizes, making the remaining work much safer. Now our attention shifts to the towering tail section, reaching high into the sky like a giant billboard for a forgotten airline. The vertical stabilizer is incredibly tall, requiring our massive demolition machine to safely bring it down to the ground level today. The long mechanical arm extends upward, its jaws opening wide to grab the very top edge of the iconic tail fin structure. With a sudden crunch, the top section is crushed and pulled downward, exposing the complex internal ribs and rudder control mechanism inside. It takes several precise bites to completely remove the vertical tail, leaving only the horizontal stabilizers attached to the rear fuselage cone. These horizontal wings are quickly dispatched, dropping to the floor and leaving the aircraft looking like a giant aluminum tube without appendages. The transformation from a majestic flying machine to a simple cylindrical shell is always a slightly melancholic but visually spectacular industrial process. Next, the machines attack the passenger cabin, ripping through the thin aluminum skin to expose empty seats and overhead luggage compartments inside. The insulation material falls like synthetic snow as the excavator tears huge holes into the roof of the once luxurious passenger cabin. We carefully separate the different materials, ensuring that valuable metals like copper and titanium are kept apart from the general aluminum scrap. Recycling is a massive part of our job, and an aircraft like this A340 will yield thousands of tons of reusable materials. The cockpit, once the brain of the aircraft, is carefully dismantled to recover any remaining electronic components before the frame is crushed. Watching the front section being torn apart reveals the intricate layers of wiring and computers that kept this giant safely in flight. As the excavators work their way down the fuselage, the hydraulic props are slowly repositioned to maintain support for the remaining sections. The landing gear, incredibly heavy and built from high-strength steel, is carefully unbolted and removed using specialized heavy-lifting crane equipment today. These massive wheels and struts will be inspected, and some parts might even find a second life on another active cargo airplane. The empty cargo hold beneath the passenger deck is easily crushed by the powerful jaws of our relentless heavy demolition machinery now. Dust and debris fill the air, but our operators are safely enclosed in their reinforced cabins, protected from any flying metal shards. The sheer power of the hydraulic shears is mesmerizing. They cut through structural beams as easily as a knife slicing through butter. We are now halfway through the fuselage, and the pile of sorted scrap metal beside the demolition zone is growing incredibly large. Every piece of metal is a testament to the incredible engineering that went into designing and building this magnificent four-engine aircraft. Pace of destruction accelerates as the remaining structure becomes smaller and much easier for the machines to handle and crush completely. Our ground crew uses powerful magnets to sweep the area, ensuring no stray metal fragments are left behind to cause future hazards. The final sections of the main fuselage are systematically chopped into manageable pieces, ready to be loaded onto waiting heavy transport trucks. It is a highly coordinated ballet of heavy machinery, with excavators moving gracefully around each other in a dangerous but controlled environment. The hydraulic fluid pumping through the veins of these machines provides the immense strength needed to tear apart aerospace-grade titanium alloys. We always marvel at the resilience of the central wing box, the toughest part of the plane, which refuses to yield easily. It requires multiple angles of attack and maximum crushing force to finally break the structural integrity of this heavily reinforced central section. When it finally snaps, the sound is like a thunderclap echoing across the industrial yard, signaling the end of the toughest phase. The rear pressure bulkhead, designed to hold the cabin atmosphere at high altitudes, is easily punctured and torn away by the shear. Even the small details, like the passenger windows, are shattered and separated from the aluminum frames to ensure proper recycling of materials. The amount of wiring hidden inside the walls of this aircraft is staggering, stretching for miles if laid out completely straight today. Copper recovery is highly profitable, so our team takes extra care to extract these valuable bundles from the twisted wreckage before crushing. As the sun begins to set over the scrapyard, the outline of the once mighty A340 is almost completely gone from view. Only a few scattered sections remain, waiting for their turn to be processed by the relentless jaws of our heavy hydraulic shears. The ground vibrates as a massive dump truck arrives to haul away the first load of processed aluminum scrap to the smelter. This metal will eventually be melted down and repurposed, perhaps finding its way into new cars, building materials, or even consumer electronics. The life cycle of an aircraft is a fascinating journey, ending here in a shower of sparks and the roar of diesel engines. Our hydraulic props, which bravely held the massive fuselage steady all day, are finally lowered and removed from the active work zone. They performed their job perfectly, preventing any disastrous rolls or sudden shifts in weight that could have endangered our skilled demolition crew. The final pieces of the cockpit floor are scooped up, erasing the last recognizable feature of this once glorious commercial passenger jet. It takes a unique combination of brute force and delicate precision to safely dismantle a machine of this incredible size and complexity. The four-engine nightmare has been successfully conquered, thanks to careful planning and the flawless execution of our highly experienced machine operators. Looking at the empty space where the giant plane stood this morning, it is hard to believe it has been completely erased. The concrete pad is swept clean, preparing the area for the next massive retirement project that will arrive at our facility tomorrow. We take immense pride in our work, knowing that we are safely recycling thousands of tons of material for a better future. The aviation industry constantly evolves, and older models like this A340 must make way for more fuel-efficient, modern twin engines. Our demolition yard is the final resting place for these incredible machines, but also the starting point for their valuable raw materials. The heavy machinery is finally powered down, the loud roar of diesel engines replaced by the quiet evening breeze across the yard. Our operators climb out of their cabins, exhausted but satisfied with a hard day of dangerous and highly demanding industrial demolition work. Every project teaches us something new about aircraft engineering and the incredible strength required to safely tear these flying fortresses apart completely. The Airbus A340 presented a unique balancing challenge, but our specialized techniques and equipment proved more than capable of handling the task. We captured every moment of this incredible process, showcasing the raw power and precise control needed in the heavy aircraft scrapping industry. Tomorrow, a new challenge awaits us, perhaps a massive cargo freighter or a retired military transport plane needing our specialized dismantling services. But for tonight, the yard is peaceful, the massive piles of sorted scrap metal standing as monuments to a successful demolition operation. We hope you enjoy watching this complex and dangerous process unfold, from the first careful cuts to the final crushing of metal. If you want to see more incredible destruction and heavy machinery in action, make sure to subscribe to our channel right now. We release new and exciting videos every single week, taking you behind the scenes of the most challenging industrial demolition projects worldwide. Thank you for watching Demolition Worker today. Stay safe, and we will see you in the next thrilling episode of Heavy Destruction.